Hey guys, today we're checking out the AMD Radeon R7 240 with 4GB of video memory. The model we're using today is from Yeston. Now that's a Chinese brand and not that well known over here in Australia. The video card is provided to us by GearBest and you're looking at around 86 Australian dollars or 65 US dollars. There are links down below in the description and I will share my thoughts about the pricing later in this video. So these entry-level video cards are usually not recommended. While they are cheap, you get very basic performance, and if you spend just a little bit more, you can often get much better gaming performance, basically better value. But what about Windows XP retro gaming? These games are older and not that demanding, so they should run quite well on such a graphics card. And that's what we're looking at in this video. We have benchmark results in 3D Mark and some games. I ran into a few issues with the AMD drivers, so I'll show a workaround. We will take a closer look at this model from Yeston, what's inside the box, how's the cooling and the noise, and then we will wrap up the video with my thoughts about this card and the pricing. Here we have the box, and it looks quite nice, although nowhere does it have the model number written on the box, so I guess they just used the same box for a range of entry-level video cards. Inside we find a quick installation card, the video card, and that's really it. There's nothing else inside the box, not even a driver disk, but you should get the latest video drivers from the AMD website anyway. Yeston do have their own website with a page for this model. The drivers are outdated and also missing the Windows XP versions, and there's no OC utility or anything like that available. The card is very compact, we have DVI, VGA and HDMI connections, and this video card is powered entirely through the PCI Express slot, no external power cable is required. The fan is quite large and nice and quiet. Under Windows 10 and MSI Afterburner, it doesn't show the RPM, just a percentage, but stressing it with Combustor for half an hour, the cooler does just fine, with temperatures around 50 degrees, so I think you shouldn't have any complaints about the temperatures or noise of this card. Time to look at some benchmark results. To test the performance in Windows XP, we're using an Intel Q35 chipset motherboard with an E8600 Core 2 Duo processor and 4GB of RAM. In 3D Mark 2001 SE, we're getting 51,458, in 3D Mark 03, 38,101, in 3D Mark 05, we're getting 19,038, and in 3D Mark 06, 10,956. All games run at 1920 by 1080 with maximum details, but no anti-aliasing. First up, we've got Halo, 124 FPS, Far Cry, 115, Fear runs at 45 FPS, Crysis, 23.4, Doom 3, we're getting 125, and Half-Life 2 Lost Coast, 99.8 FPS. Now I ran into issues with installing the drivers, but only with Windows XP. Windows 10 worked just fine. So I went to the AMD website and the drivers offered a Catalyst 14.4. To add confusion, there are two download links. Both drivers have the same name. One is labeled Pack 2, the other one is labeled Pack 3. Pack 1 seems missing, but I found it by running a Google search. None of the drivers would install, but Pack 2 would at least install the Catalyst Control Center and the HDMI audio. But I just couldn't get it to install the actual graphics driver. I wasted quite a bit of time on this, and then I remembered having the same issue with another Radeon card, but that one was a Dell OEM card. The solution is to use one of these driver installers. They scan your hardware and then go online to download drivers. This one is called Snappy Drivers and so far my absolute favorite. I have the offline version running from a USB hard drive and this fixed everything. It installed the Radeon drivers and as the control panel was already installed, everything was good to go. Let's quickly go over the specifications of this graphics card. We have 320 cores running at 780 MHz, massive 4GB of GDDR5 video memory, which runs at an effective clock speed of 4000 MHz, and the memory interface is 128-bit. So for Windows XP gaming, these entry-level video cards do have enough performance for most of the games. It's only when you run some of the more demanding games like Fear or Crysis that the Radeon R7 240 starts to struggle. Do keep in mind that all the tests are run at 1920 by 1080 resolution, so if you're gaming with an old school 17-inch or 19-inch monitor, you're going to get even better performance. I like how compact the card is, the cooler performs well and is very quiet. The drivers from AMD put up a fight when trying to install, but the workaround is easy enough once you know what to do. Now let's talk about the price. You're looking at around 86 Australian dollars or 65 US dollars. For not much more you can get a RX 550 or a GT 1030, however those cards do not support Windows XP. But you can also get the R7 or a GT 600 series card second hand for a lower price. But then this Yeston video card is brand new, and although more of a gimmick, it does have 4 GB of video memory. So all in all, if you're using a modern operating system, then you're better off going with the RX 550 or a GT 1030. But for Windows XP retro gaming, this card works great for most games. It doesn't require much power, so it should work with basically any PC. And this might upset a few Nvidia fans, but because it's a Radeon card, it does do a few things better for retro gaming. But this is something for another video that's coming out very soon. So there you have it guys, the Yeston AMD Radeon R7 240 is a nice retro-friendly graphics card because it supports Windows XP and runs most of those games quite well. But what do you think? Share your thoughts down below in the comments. And as always, the usual YouTube stuff, please subscribe if you haven't done so already, click on that notification bell to get future updates, like or dislike, share the video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you soon with another one.